Hey guys, it's Amy with Stampin' with a Heart. I am going to show you how to use these wonderful dies from the Garden Ornate Suite. There's also some more of the die set that are right here. And we're going to use more of them. I will make sure I give you the item number and everything on the blog post with this, so that way you can order them if you'd like. They are just fabulous, and let me show you the card real quick that we're going to do. Is this. Is this not lovely? It opens this way. And then the card we're going to do is going to open this way as well. I didn't do that on this one because I was just playing, and I have everything cut out, and I will give you dimensions on what you need to make this. So I'll be right back and you'll get directions. Hey Google, stuff for me. Hey, it's Amy again. I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what you're going to need. You are going to need a piece of flower. I got this from the flowering foils, and I cut out my flower. This does actually have an extra little leaf, but because of the way the leaf goes right here, but because of the way it lays on there, I cut this one particular leaf out. You can leave it in, that's entirely up to you. So we're going to need this, and we're going to color that in just a minute. You're going to need a piece of, let me start from the top down, so we're going to start, that's this piece. Then you're going to need this piece, and this is going to be this, and I've cut it out from the Ornate Layering dies, and this is cut out at the size of 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Don't worry, I am going to put these sizes in the blog so you can see how to do everything. Then you're going to need a piece of blueberry, or not blueberry, balmy blue, and it measures 4 3/4 by 6 1/2, and it's scored at 3 1/4. You're going to need another sheet of balmy blue at let's see, this one is 4 by 5 1/2, and it's also cut out with the layering dies. Then you're going to need a piece of designer series paper. I used the Perennial Essence designer series paper. I just love the balmy blue, the blueberry bushel, the blackberry bliss, the way it blends. It actually even looks kind of like this gorgeous grape. Then you're going to need another piece of Whisper White, 4 by 5 1/4. Then you're going to need a larger piece of the gorgeous grape. It is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then this is 1 by 4, 1 by 4, and then we're going to cut it out with the layering Ornate Layer dies. So we're going to get to putting this together. I did do all the die cutting already, so we don't have to do that again. But I will show you how I colored the flower in this, and then I will show you how to put it together. Alright, let's color our flower, which is right here. And I've colored mine in balmy blue. The leaves are in garden green, or no, granny apple green. And the little cotton pieces here, I guess that's what they are. I'm going to do those in Blackberry Bliss. The centers of my flowers are done in Daffodil Delight, and I use light and darks of both of those colors. And I'm going to start with the dark color of balmy blue. I'm going to do my flower first. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to go along these edges and then keep the center of them really dark. And I'm not going to do the whole flower at one time. I'm just going along these edges, a leaf at a time. So then I'm going to pause, and I'm going to go to my light balmy blue. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to color this whole leaf section. Okay, and then I'm going to keep repeating this all the way around by adding this dark blue in here, and notice I'm using the fine point tip on this dark blue part. And I usually do 2 sections at a time, not more than that, because I don't want the ink to dry out in between me putting the light color in, because the light color you put a lot more in it, and it helps that dark blend up a little bit. And then to this section, I probably will want to go back in and put some dark right here along this little line. I love having all the lines, and then I'm going to go back over it just to make it a little darker. I love having all the little lines because it helps me tell where all of the shadowing should be, because I'm not a painter. I love how those people can paint a flower with all those different colors and actually know exactly where to put them. I have no clue. I am not that much of an artist. I would love to be, but I know I'm not, so, and that's okay. I will continue to do what I'm doing. I'm happy with what I'm doing. Now you notice I have gone past and gone into this other flower. I didn't really want to do that, but that's okay. That one didn't really have any shadowing to it, so neither does this one. Now because of this one here, I'm going to go ahead and put some shadowing in it. Just it looks like it should use some for me because, you know, it's the difference between two different petals, and I'm going to come back in and blend that in. And generally the dark should be anywhere where you have lots of deep lines. So I'm just going to put them all over on this section here. Then I'm going to come in and blend them out. Alright, that should be pretty good on this one. We've got one little spot here. Okay, that one's almost pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of light sections. And if you get it a little too dark, you can come back in with your other blender pen, your clear, and you can lighten up some of those spots. So that's really not a big deal. And I'm going to come back in with this, and I'm going to do these. And again, I'm going to stay really dark around this edge of the center of the flower, which I should probably go back in this one and darken it up a little bit, just so that it's really dark there around that center. And then you come back in and blend it out, just at the edges, so it seems a lot darker. There we go. And you just repeat this all the way around on the edges so that it's nice and dark along these lines. Now my friend Kim, she does fabulous watercolor imagery, and I think she sent me a blog post the other day on how to do that really well. But then it turned out I'm looking at it thinking that's what it is, and it turns out to be a video about a lady who built the ultimate craft room. And I'm like, huh, she had no budget. My husband can't complain about how much I spent on the she shed. Well, they call it a she shed. I call it a crafting cottage, you know, but that's just me, because I don't want to be known as Cheryl the she shed lady. Because my name is not Cheryl. I'm Amy, and I have a crafty cottage, and it's called Crafting in the Pig Pen, because everything's pigs here. Pigs and hearts. Go figure. Who'd have thunked it? And this piece I'm going to make kind of dark because it's hiding back there. And I don't know how you all are doing with this little quarantine business. My grandkids, we decided to do a bonfire last night so we could all have the 6 foot of separation, but still kind of be together. We cooked a pot of beans and we ate outside together, and it was so hard to tell my grandson not to get close to me. He ran up to hug me and said, "Oh, Mamie, I've missed you so." My heart bursted with love and joy and sadness all at the same time, because I knew I shouldn't be letting him do that because of my immunosuppression. But man, having that hug from him was just so great. But the kids are outside today playing in force. One of my son-in-law's friends decided to come over, and not that I necessarily agree with that, but so now we're back to being quarantined. We don't know where they've all been, so we're just gonna hang out at home. We're getting stuff, and we're gonna do a deck so that we can just hang out on our own deck and look at them and yell from the fence and say, "Everything in the fenced area is ours, don't come over." and watch them from there. It really kills my granddaughter. She's like, I don't understand. And I'm like, I don't understand yet either, baby, but it's just the way it's got to be for right now. You don't want Mamie to die, do you? Alright, there's my flowers. My flowers are nice and pretty and colored. And to do my leaves, which I'm not going to make you watch this, I'm going to do the dark and the light granny apple green. So again, I'm going to take my dark over to start with doing the top layer first. This is the top layer. This is 3 and, let's see, this is 6.5 by 4 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and score it at 3 1/4. Go ahead and varnish this, and on the inside I'm going to put the side for your sentiment, which is the piece of Whisper White. I'm going to put it here, and it is 3 by 4.5. And I'm just going to get my glue here. Just going to use my tape runner. Now I haven't put a sentiment on this. You can put whatever you want on these. That's entirely up to you. I'm leaving them blank until I know who they're for. Usually I wouldn't put this in, but I'm doing it for education purposes. So you're going to put that one there, and then you're going to take your designer series paper that you cut out, and I'm going to put the other side is just as beautiful. Of course, this is the Perennial Essence DSP, and I think it's just as beautiful. These colors on this page are what actually inspired me. That, and there was another blog that I saw where someone did these same colors, these rich purples, and I was hooked. I had to do one of that color. So now we're going to take this, like making a mini card on top of it. So we're going to take this piece that I've cut out with the dies, and we're going to put this, I'm going to pop it up a little bit, so I'm going to use some dimensionals, or you can use foam strips. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to use some dimensionals here. I'm going to use quite a few of them so that I don't, definitely at least in all 4 corners. And some people put one in the center for a little support. There you go. We'll just put this on there. And you're just going to lay this down. Let me put this here in the center so I can see where I'm putting it. You're just going to lay that down there in the center like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with this, and we're going to pop this up with dimensionals so it lays right on top. Now this card, I'm not sure if it'll go through the mail without putting some extra padding or extra postage on it. So that might be something you might want to consider by not doing the dimensionals. Now I'm going to put it off kind of cockeyed, so there we go. So that one's just like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive on the back side of this, because it's going to go on top of this cut out piece of balmy blue. And I'm the one that I have shown you, I've used tear tape. I'm probably going to use a little tear tape and some adhesive glue. Actually, I'm using tape runner and some adhesive glue on it this time because I want to make sure it stays. And I know glue will actually do a really great job at keeping it where it's supposed to be. And more so than this, the tear tape or the tape roller, because it's supposed to be permanent, but it doesn't always work permanently for me. I have people who tell me some of their cards come apart, which just breaks my heart because I put all this effort into these cards to find out they've come apart. And well, that's just not what I'm looking for. And I actually didn't put it evenly, so I'm going to have to pull it off here. Well, it's going to have to work. There we go. So there's your center. I should have been over a little bit more, but it's going to go like this. Then you're just going to take and pop this on the front of your base. And you may, again, want to put the tear and tape or some glue on this one, because it is going to be pretty thick on your card base, and you want it to be able to stay. Alright. A lot of my problem is I'm not standing up to do this for you, so I'm not able to see where I'm placing everything. And you want this to go right in the center. How amazingly gorgeous is that? Now let's do the center, or the inside. We're going to put this in here, but first I'm going to have to lay this. Some people may want it down here on the bottom. You might want it on the top. That's entirely up to you. This is in Balmy Blue, and it's cut out with 2 dies from the layering set in the Ornate Suite. And first you'll cut out this one, which is your little rectangle that's in there, and then you'll lay this in top, inside of it. You could do it all at the same time and cut it all out, and it gives you this, which is just fabulous. I'm going to put this on with glue because it's got a couple of little pieces, these little pieces here. They tend to be very difficult to keep down. So I'm going to put this in very last so I can make sure that it stays. But I am putting, just if you'll notice, I'm putting a bit of glue on the corners of this little heart-ish shape. And then I'll put some on the edges here so that I'm sure it will stay. Now another thing you could do is if you have adhesive paper that's got that adhesive backing to it, you could put that on as well, and that way it would be all adhesive and everything just for you when you go to put that down, and it would just pull off the back of it and lay it down. See how pretty that looks? It just gives it such a different, fun little technique to that. And I do find that my curtains here, there, that might be a little bit better for you after all these videos. Alright, now we're going to put this on the inside here. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the bottom. You could do one on the top too. That would be entirely up to you. Again, I don't put anything on the inside of my cards the majority of the time because I don't know who they're going to. I don't know what they're going to be for. They could be for a birthday, sympathy. I make so many cards that just make me happy. I don't ever want to limit myself unless I'm making it for a special reason or a special occasion. So there's your inside of your card. And room for plenty of a sentiment. And then you have it like this, which opens up for another little nifty sentiment. Then you're inside. See? How beautiful is that? Thank you for coming today, and hope to see you next time you come by. Bye-bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that card today. I did want to let you know there will be a prize drawing on this video as well. Leave comments or share my blog post here, or get some subscriptions. Subscribe to my video here at YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to enter folks in for a drawing. Again, I have for drawing, I have the flowering foils, which I just used on that card. I also have the Golden Honeybee DSP. I have the Ladybug stamp set. Let me get them out so you can see those. I have the Power of Hope bundle here that I'm going to do a drawing for. I have Happy Birthday to You, and I have the Ladybug, which I'm never going to use this. The only thing I really like about it is some of the sentiments, like "Hey Lady" and "Spread your wings and fly." Those are some really great sentiments. I'm just not a Ladybug fan. But if nobody wants to comment, you know, I'll keep these. And I also, again, have the Golden Honey DSP and the flowering foils that I just used, which are this set and the flowering foils DSP. It comes with a bunch of different types of flowers. So just leave a comment or share or subscribe to my YouTube channel and you will be entered in for a drawing. Thanks so much, guys. Hope to see you next time.